Welcome, I'm Rose Oatley, and today we're going to be making a super moist and delicious banana bread. First, we want to start by preheating our oven to 350 degrees. I'm also going to be prepping my loaf pan, and I love using parchment paper because it makes it so much easier to remove when done. I've got a large piece of parchment paper, so I'm going to go ahead and fold this in half. And then I like to measure it against the bottom of my pan. I cut one side off to make it fit evenly. Now I'm going to grease my pan with spray. If you don't have spray, you can use butter. Just make sure that you have some kind of grease, otherwise the paper won't stick. If you don't have parchment paper, that's perfectly fine. Just use butter or grease so your loaf doesn't stick. If you notice, I'm creating little handles here that will make it so much easier for you to just lift up your bread. Let's talk bananas. Your bananas must be super ripe, brown like these. The riper, the sweeter. If you see a few brown spots inside, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure they're not rotten like these. If you're using large bananas, you'll need 3. If you have small bananas, you'll need 4. In this video, I'm using large bananas. I went with 4, but again, go with 3 for large. You want to manually mash your bananas. You can use a fork, a potato masher, or a pastry blender, just like I'm doing here. Did you know that banana bread actually started during the Great Depression when people didn't want to throw any food away, including rotten bananas? I like to mash my bananas until they're runny but chunky too. This is about the consistency I like. Okay, now let's just set this aside. To a mixing bowl, you want to add half a cup of sugar, a 3/4 cup of dark brown sugar. Today I'm using light because this is what I have. Now the dark brown sugar just has a deeper molasses flavor. Light brown sugar will work just fine too. Add 1 stick of softened unsalted butter. Now if your butter isn't softened, you can pop it in the microwave for about 15 to 20 seconds. Using a mixer, you want to cream or mix your butter and sugars. It shouldn't take long. Just be sure that you don't overmix. Now add 2 eggs, one at a time. Add 1½ teaspoons of vanilla extract. Stop and scrape the sides if needed and continue mixing. Alright, so this is what it looks like now. I almost forgot one of my main ingredients I like to use. Half a cup of vanilla Greek yogurt. This is going to help make it nice and moist. And just mix for a few seconds. At this point, you can add your bananas. We'll just give this a quick mix and fold. For our dry ingredients, in a separate bowl, we want to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, ½ teaspoon of baking powder, ½ teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Let's mix and combine everything together. To avoid clumps of flour in my mix, I like to add my dry ingredients into my wet ingredients. I'm using a sifter. If you have one, I recommend it. If you don't, that's fine too. Since we'll be folding or mixing by hand, using the sifter just makes it so much nicer. Using a spatula, you want to fold until all combined and you no longer see flour. If you're feeling a little nutty, you can even add nuts. Today, I'm going to be adding 1 cup of walnuts. You can even add chocolate chips if you like. Now that everything is mixed, I'm going to add my whole mixture into one pan. I always love to show people what my cakes or loaves are made out of, so I'm going to be adding a few walnuts on top, and also I've cut a few slices of bananas and I'll just add those in between. Bake at 350 degrees between 50 to 70 minutes. Every oven varies. Check for doneness with a toothpick in the center. Toothpick must be clean or with a few crumbs, it's fine. My bread is now out of the oven. Make sure that you let it sit to cool completely. But I want to show you how easy it is to lift your bread up using parchment paper. So what do you think? Doesn't this look delicious? I can't wait to have some, guys. All right, please be sure to give this a like and help me out by sharing with friends. If you haven't already subscribed, please be sure to do so below or hit my little picture on the side. Also, don't forget to hit the little bell to get notified of all of my new videos, and please be sure to check out these links on the side. Share with your friends. Thanks for watching and your support.